Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into what it means if you have your Venus in the sign of Virgo. Now, if this is your first time watching any of my videos, feel free to head over to my channel, Hidden Alchemy, and really check out all of my astrology videos as well as other things on the channel, just so you can have a better understanding of what the Virgo archetype is, as well as what the planet Venus means in astrology. For the sake of this video, let's go ahead and dive into really briefly what does Venus mean and what does Virgo mean and how do they blend together. Now, Venus is the planet of beauty. It is the planet of love, relationship, and not only just our romantic relationships, but our relation to people, places, and things, how we are in relation to these situations in our life, as well as our finances and any type of contract, business that we're doing with other people. All in all, Venus rules romance, but it also rules casual relationships as well. Virgo is an earth sign. It's practical Virgo, ruled by Mercury naturally, and it is a feminine sign. So Virgo is feminine, meaning it is more passive in nature and likes to internalize how it perceives the world and receives the world around them. Virgo is also mutable. Not sure if I mentioned that. So Virgo is very adaptable to change in environments, change in situations, and just in their day to day. So having your Venus in the sign of Virgo, I'm going to be very honest. I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to be very honest. Venus is not the happiest in the sign of Virgo. And every sign placement has its positive and its negative, so it's nothing to feel bad about. But I love when I'm working with things that might be more debilitated, because Venus in Virgo is actually a little debilitated, because it means that there's a lot more power that you have to tap into on a deeper level to really get the best from this sign. Now, the reason that Venus in Virgo is debilitated is because Venus in Pisces is exalted. So if a planet is exalted in a sign, then that means the opposite of that sign is going to bring it debilitation. And when Venus is debilitated in a sign, it just means that Venus is not able to really use their essence in this sign as much as it would like to. And the reason being with Venus in Virgo is about work. It's about service. It's about finding what is not right in a situation and making it correct. And like I said in the beginning part of the video, if you have not seen what the Virgo archetype is on my channel, go ahead and check it out, just so you have a deeper understanding of what the Virgo energy brings. But Virgo is the problem solver. Virgo wants to come in and it wants to be of service. It wants to change, being that it's mutable, change what is no longer working, make it better, as well as the healer, healing and fixing others. Venus is not really about that. Venus is how we like to enjoy pleasure. Venus is actually all about pleasure. Virgo is the complete opposite of pleasure. Virgo is the mundane, day-to-day work that we have to do in order so that we can receive a product that can bring us pleasure. But the work of Virgo is not pleasure necessarily. So when you have Venus in the sign of Virgo, these are people who have a hard time just accepting themselves. You know, Venus energy in general likes to see others before they see themselves. But when you put it in Virgo, these are people who really struggle with, I would say, body dysmorphia. I wouldn't be surprised if people who have their Venus in Virgo have eating disorders, or just a very morbid way that they view themselves. Because again, Virgo is all about what is not good. And these are folks that can sometimes struggle with not feeling good enough, because Virgo just likes to focus on where is there a problem and how can I solve it. So these are people who might think that there's something wrong with them and is constantly trying to change or fix themselves because they don't feel worthy. And this is because Venus rules attraction. These are people who can also attract those types of energies around them, of other people not valuing them and other people maybe criticizing them for the way that they look or the way that they may go about things in their life. Venus and Virgo folks really have to work on building their self-esteem and really understanding that them being these healers and these people that like to take care of other people, they can also do the same within themselves. Venus in Virgo is definitely the sign of caring for others more than caring for oneself. And these folks have to work on their self-esteem and have to use all of that energy that they pour into other people and just give that healing energy to themselves. These are people that will work themselves to the ground just so that they can feel valuable and worthy to other people, but they don't necessarily deem themselves as valuable or worthy on an internal level. Now, on the flip side, having Venus in the sign of Virgo, it does make these people really capable of taking care of their loved ones and their partners. Yes, these are going to be practical lovers. I will definitely say a Venus in Virgo person, in comparison to maybe like a Venus in Pisces or a Venus in Libra, these are folks who are going to go for the charm, go for the charisma, who are going to fall in love with, the facade of love, the luxury that a person might be bringing you, the resources, right? Because Venus is about resources. A Venus in Virgo person wants to get straight to the point. They want to make sure that you are on the same level as them on a practical way, right? How can we add to this partnership or this relationship in a practical way that can bring value and use to both of us? And this kind of leaves room for more strategy rather than more love play and more foreplay, right? Because when you think about Venus, it's all about love, it's about romance, it's about how we relate to others in a peaceful way. Whereas Venus and Virgo, they just want to make sure that you got your stuff together so that you can be a practical use of service in their life in a partnership. And that's not actually a bad thing with this energy, because it is important to see beyond the gumdrops and lollipops that a person might feed you, especially if you're a person that has your Venus in Pisces, right? You can fall easily for the charm and the charisma and the softness and all of the lights and all of just the gentle comfiness that Venus offers. But Venus in Virgo was like, okay, that's nice, but in order for a partnership to really work, these practical things have to be in order. And that's actually a benefit to this sign. Now, if Venus and Virgo folks, like I said in the beginning, can dig a little bit deeper and maybe pull from Venus and Pisces and find a balance between the two, allowing themselves to feel worthy of being loved on and romanced and having more softness and things not always having to be about work, balance that out with also the practical side of making sure that the people in your life are actually adding substantial value, so that people aren't just there for the sake of benefiting from the work that a Venus and Virgo person is really going to be willing to give in their relationships. Like, these are people who can really be a great ear, a great place of solace, and really be a great advisor to the people around them in just platonic relationships, but especially in romantic relationships. Now, the challenge with this as well is because Virgo likes to fix things, I would definitely say a Venus and Virgo person is really going to be attracted to another person who might need a little bit of their help. And what this does is this makes the Venus and Virgo person the server in the relationship and not necessarily the person that is receiving the love that they really need. And this stems from Venus and Virgo folks not really feeling worthy of love, not really feeling good enough on an internal level. So once Venus and Virgo folks can really work on their self-esteem and feeling good about themselves, they can really attract, because Venus is about attraction, they can really attract a more balanced partner who maybe doesn't need their help per se to fix them or to take care of them, but can love on them and add practical use in the partnership and the relationship. These are people who are going to be very picky. Virgo is very, very picky, and they have to understand that nothing is perfect, and it stems from their need on an internal level of needing to be perfect, of needing to feel perfect, that they can struggle with finding the right partners because they need this perfection and they need people to, just appear that they are in a space of perfection and service and being of use. And sometimes this can make them kind of not experience the Venus and Pisces side of a relationship, the love, the romance, the carefreeness. These are people who definitely have to soften their shoulders down their back a little bit more and allow themselves to experience pleasure. I would definitely say Venus and Virgo folks should really work on the idea of experiencing pleasure and allowing themselves to indulge in pleasure without feeling guilty. Virgo is definitely a sign that struggles with guilt and shame, and it stems from their need of always wanting to be perfect or always wanting to appear perfect. So when they appear less than that, they can feel guilty, they can feel embarrassed and feel shameful and feel not good enough. But really, if Venus and Virgo folks would allow themselves to experience pleasure, would allow themselves to be human and to know that being human means being messy and it's okay to be messy, these folks can really enjoy the deeper benefit of what they have to offer. Because as I said before, Venus and Virgo is such a healer in their relationships and such a great ear and such a really good shoulder to cry on and receive advice from, and just a stable force of service as well as humility in their relationships. But all in all, every sign, every planet has its debilitations and its exaltations. I always find that whenever a sign is debilitated in a certain planet, that this is a greater opportunity to find ways, me being Virgo, find ways of being better, find ways of finding like that gem that you have to offer and healing the side that is bringing more debilitation than exaltation. But in any case, thank y'all so much for joining for this Venus and Virgo video. Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you have your Venus in Virgo, and I will see you for our next video.